everyone. I am Stacy with the Stacy Jewel Foundation and Stacy Jewel Media, and today I'm going to talk about triggers. Are you ready to have a seat on the couch? All right, let's do it. Everyone has triggers. You could go into a grocery store and see an item that brings back memories. You can hear a song. You could be in a place. You can smell a smell, even a food, a person, a laugh. Triggers are things that happen when something sparks a memory or sparks a thought process that changes the current state that you're in. And you could be in a happy state and then go to a depressed state. You could be in a depressed state and go to an anxious state. You could be in a happy state and go to an anxious state. You can be in any state and transfer into another state based off of a trigger. It's okay to have triggers, but what we need to do is work on how you work through those triggers. Triggers are things that change your whole mindset, your mood, your attitude, and when you feel them coming on, you have to maintain your sanity. And I say that because I have so many triggers and so many things that happen, and some people have asked me, like, are you even affected by this? Do you even have any emotions? And I tell them I don't have to put on a show for the world to work through my trauma, and neither do you. When you have something very traumatic happen to you, things are going to trigger you to go back into a state where you remember when that person was here, or you remember when a specific thing happened. And some triggers are great. Like, you can smell something and be like, oh my God, that reminds me of my mom. You know, when we used to do this. It's a great trigger. Others are not so great. You can hear a song and it could be something that was devastating that was happening in your life, and that song puts you right in that moment. And again, you could be 20 years away, but now you're facing this situation all over again and you thought you were over it. When you deal with trauma, we're never really completely over it. We deal with it. Someone asked me about a year ago, how do I deal with so many deaths in the family, or losses, or job losses, or just anything? And I told them that I sit in silence and I meditate a lot. I cry in the shower. I write in my journal. I help other people. And I try to be inspirational. Now, don't take that for being an idiot or, easy to manipulate or anything like that. But the biggest thing is to make sure that I am feeling great about myself. And that's what you have to do. It could be anything. I started doing teas with my mom and my sister and my daughter because I felt like, as time goes on, my mom's not going to be around as much. And that's a genuine thing I want to be able to remember. I've lost a husband, I've lost a brother, I've lost a sister, I've lost cousins and grandparents. And, in the beginning, it wasn't so close to home. So it was kind of like, oh, geez, they're gone. But as it started getting closer to home, I can see how people started to realize like their life was over and that they didn't know where to go from there, especially if it was something with a child or, a spouse or a sibling. It's like you thought you were going to live your life with these people and you ended up having to make a whole different plan for your life. And in making that plan, you have to realize that you have to get up every day and face the world and be the best you that you can be. In doing that, you have to come up with some ways to make your life worth living, acceptable, motivational, and just downright for you. You're not doing it for anybody else. Even if you have kids, you cannot be a great parent unless you can be a great you. You have to give yourself the time and the energy that you need in order to be a better person. If you don't have anything else to give, who are you raising? And even as with friends, as a mother or a daughter or a husband or brother, like when things happen to you and they're very traumatic, you have to take time to heal from them. And when I say heal, it's a lifelong process, which means if something doesn't work for you, then try something else. Everything doesn't work for everybody. Everybody's stretch of grief isn't the same. Everybody's stretch of trauma healing isn't the same. Everybody's work with their inner child isn't the same. There is no set rule book to healing and to dealing with your trauma. So what the best thing is to do things that you feel make you happy and see if those things help you get through the trauma. Find a person to talk to that you trust and rely on to make sure that you can get it out. Even if that's a journal, even if it's just taking time in silence and writing. Change some things around in your life to make sure that you are purposeful in what you're doing. All right, so I'm going to give you three wonderful tips that only you can utilize, because there are movies, there are books, there are specialists, there are friends and family. Everyone's going to tell you how to deal with your trauma and your triggers, but only you are going to be able to actually do them. Number one, deal with your triggers immediately. When you start to feel something changing, recognize it. Don't push it away. Don't act like it's not there until it's too late. Work on it immediately. Meaning if you are in a grocery store and you're about to pick up something or do something and it just brings this flashback to you of a certain moment, appreciate that moment and deal with it right then and there. Whether it means going to your car and crying, whether it means going to the bathroom, whether it means leaving and coming back again. Don't push yourself to not actually heal in the moment, because your mind and your body are going through something at that moment. Recognize it. Number two, heal from the inside out. Don't throw on makeup and hair. Don't get your hair cut. Don't go looking all great and you haven't even actually taken the time to sit in silence and deal with what is happening to you. When I say inside out, that means you can't really shine on the outside when you're hurting so bad on the inside. It's still recognizable. That means take some time to yourself. Take a weekend and just lay in your bed and watch your favorite movies and cry, or read a book, or go shopping, or do something, but take the time to actually heal from the inside out. And lastly, number three is to fully focus on you and appreciate your value. You mean something to someone, no matter, even if it's just you. You mean something to someone. You are valid in your feelings. You are valid in your emotions. And if it's not being recognized by other people to where, oh my God, it's been 10 years. Aren't you over it by now? No. They don't understand because they haven't gone through it. There's no way to possibly understand something that somebody has not gone through. So take these 3 tips, making sure I held up 3. Take these 3 tips and genuinely work on yourself and your triggers. And lastly, it's going to be hard. This isn't going to be an easy journey. This isn't going to be something that happens overnight. But when you really work on your triggers, and that means however it works for you, if it's meditation, if it's going to the movies and sitting and getting your mind off of things, if it's writing in your journal, if it's, having tea with friends, if it's laying in your bed, if it's, whatever it is, do it, but don't let it last forever. You can't lay in your bed for 6 months to get over it. You have to lay there, you have to process things, and you have to get up and get back out at life. You have to understand that there are going to be moments. These are moments in your life. You can't let it take over your entire life. You have to be able to deal with the trigger when it happens. And that's why I say recognize it, deal with it in that moment, and then move forward. Because you're going to have those moments probably for the rest of your life. I had a daughter that died when I was 17, 16, and I am 47 years old. And sometimes I hear things or, recognize things, or someone mentions something and I'm like, oh, in the beginning I was very depressed. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't even want to be around other people's kids. But as time progressed, I would make a cake every year. Then it went from making a cake to just kind of going to the cemetery. Then it went from that to just appreciating the fact that I am a survivor of someone who had a daughter that passed away and created a foundation. And now I like help other people. And I sit in that. I used to cry all the time. Now I'm not saying that I don't cry, but not as much as I used to. And usually it's not a boo hoo hoo. It's like a tear of remembrance and me telling myself, girl, you have come a long way. You have worked your booty off, making things happen because you promised yourself at 16 that you wouldn't live a life without, because you promised yourself and your daughter. So at the end of the day, you have to get up every day. You have to face your triggers and you have to face your traumas, but you determine how you do that. I hope somehow, some way that this is helping someone. And I am truly, truly blessed to be able to share my stories with you and hope that you guys appreciate them and work with them. And if you need any help, please reach out to the Stacy Jewell Foundation. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Cheers.